Welcome. My name is Kim, and I will be leading a 60-minute long class today. The first 30 minutes will be some stretches followed by an all levels flow, and the last 30 minutes will be a yin practice, which for those who are unfamiliar is where you hold the yoga postures for a longer period of time, anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. So it's more of long stretches, which is great for mobility, for our joints. So thank you for joining. And wherever you are, I invite you to find a comfortable seat. And take a moment to set that up. Maybe move your sits bones. Maybe move forward and back to find your center, side to side. And once you get there, you'll stack shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders. And I'll invite you to leave your eyes open and set a soft gaze in front of you, or close your eyes, whatever you're more comfortable with in the space that you're in. And then take a deep breath in, deep breath out. We'll do 2 more together just like that. Inhale, filling up your belly all the way up to your heart. And exhale. Now this last one, inhale. And if you'd like to open your mouth as you exhale. We'll do a brief meditation here. So as you continue to breathe, just notice your breath, how it feels in your body. Maybe you feel the rise and fall of your chest, your shoulders, the expansion of your belly. Maybe you notice the coolness in your nostrils on the inhales, the warmth on your exhales. Continue to breathe naturally, effortless. And maybe you notice as your body settles, some sounds around you, the air conditioning or doors opening and shutting, birds chirping outside. Maybe you notice the temperature in the room, or the way your body is connecting with your mat or your chair. And then come back to your breath. All of these feelings, the sensations, your breath, they are all anchors to the present moment. And this is something you can use on and off your mat to be present. And as you continue to breathe, I invite you on your next inhale to think of something that you're grateful for. It could be something that happened today or this week. And as you inhale, fill up with gratitude. And as you exhale, let it flow over you. Inhale gratitude and exhale. And I'll invite you throughout this practice to allow your breath, or the thing you're grateful for that brings you joy, to bring you to this moment, to be present. Take one more deep breath in, and an open mouth sigh. If your eyes are closed, I'll invite you to flutter them open. And take whatever movement feels natural to you here. Maybe it's wiggling your fingers and toes, the roll of your shoulders. Wake your body up. And then whenever you're ready, on your inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, your hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Last one, use your breath as your guide. I'll invite you to place your hands on the upper parts of your legs or on your knees. We'll do a few seated cat-cows. On your inhale, look up, press your heart or your chest out, pull your shoulder blades back for cow. Exhale, you'll curl your shoulders in, gaze down for cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, gaze up, shoulders back. Exhale, gaze down, shoulders forward. And as you continue to breathe and move through cat and cow, I'll invite you to try out your shoulder movements. So maybe you roll your shoulders a little less, maybe a little more. And notice the difference in your body and where you feel this movement. We'll do one more round wherever you are. And after your cat, come back to a neutral spine. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, sweep them to the right. So your right hand will come behind you, kind of like a kickstand. Left hand on your right knee. Inhale tall as you lengthen your spine and your crown toward the ceiling. And then exhale, twist gently to the right side. Inhale tall. Exhale, twist. And if you'd like more of a stretch on your exhale, I invite you to twist a little deeper, paying attention to how this feels in your body. And if you ever feel pain or pinching, I'll invite you to come out of that posture or even lessen the depth with which you're going into the posture. And on your next inhale, you'll come back to center, sweep your arms up. Exhale to the left side. Now your left hand is behind you like a kickstand. Your right hand on your left knee. Inhale tall, lengthen your spine. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale tall. Exhale, twist. And notice if one side feels the same as the other. Maybe one side feels different than the other. Either way, that's okay. Just paying attention to your body and how things feel. On your next inhale, come back to center, sweep arms up, and exhale, allow your hands to fall. And from here, you can either rock forward onto your knees, or you can place your hands and sweep your legs around to meet me in a tabletop posture. For tabletop, your wrists are stacked under your shoulders, knees under your hips. You're pulling your belly button toward your spine, so engaging your core. And your gaze is between your hands. And continue to breathe. Inhale. And on Your next exhale, I'll invite you to stretch your right leg out long behind you. So you can bring your toes down to touch your mat, or you can lift your right leg up hip height with your foot active, like you're pressing against the wall behind you. And wherever you are, notice how this feels on your right side, or even on your left side for that matter. If your leg is lifted, I'll invite you to bring your toes to touch your mat. And on your inhale, if you'd like a little more out of this stretch, you can rock forward. And on your exhale, rock back. So you'll be pressing your heel toward your mat. Inhale forward, exhale back. Just notice how this slight rock forward and rock back might change the stretch for you. We'll do one more round. Inhale forward, exhale back. And on your next inhale, bring it all back to center for your tabletop. Inhale, exhale, stretch your left leg out long behind you now. Toes to touch, or if you'd like to lift your left leg up hip height, left foot active. And allow your breath to bring you to the present moment if you notice your mind wandering. And then if your leg is lifted, you'll bring your toes back down to your mat. And inhale forward, exhale, rock back. Inhale forward, exhale back. You can use your breath as your guide as you move forward and back. As you notice how this feels in your body. We'll do one more, and then we'll meet back in tabletop. Then from tabletop, spread your fingers wide. Firmly press your finger knuckles into the mat. Paying special attention to your pointer and thumb finger. Thumb fingers. You can curl your toes under. And tabletop is the perfect place to lift up into a downward facing dog because it's perfectly suited for your body. So inhale. And then if you're joining on your exhale, you'll begin to straighten your legs and lift your hips high toward the ceiling. And once you get there, you'll pull your shoulders back away from your ears. Your gaze is to the back of your mat. Your feet are about hip height. And here, if you'd like to take any organic movements like walking your dog where you come up on one set of toes and press the opposite heel and alternate. Maybe you sway your hips side to side. Whatever feels right for you. And then release your heels toward the mat. Maybe they touch, maybe they don't. Either way, that is perfect. On your next inhale, you'll bend your knees, look to the top of your mat, and on your exhale, you'll walk your feet slowly toward your hands, and we'll meet in a forward fold. So your feet are hip width apart, there's a slight bend in your knees, and allow your shoulders and your head to fall toward the mat. If you'd like to take your hands to opposite elbows and frame your head and sway side to side. Or take opposite wrists or elbows behind your knees to deepen your forward fold. Whatever feels right for you. And wherever you are, I'll invite you to find stillness. Allow your hands to fall. Pull your chest toward your legs. And then inhale, half lift. Continue to breathe. But for a half lift, you're trying to flatten your spine. So the crown of your head is toward the top of your mat. Shoulders back away from your ears. Create extension in your neck. Maybe you come up to your fingertips on your mat. Place your hands on your shins or up just above your knees. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. On your next inhale, you'll pull belly button toward your spine and slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Roll your shoulders up to your ears at the top and back. And allow your hands to come out by your sides for your mountain posture. So your palms are facing out. And here your feet are still hip width apart, slight bend in your knees. Maybe you tuck your tailbone toward the mat to elongate your spine, shoulders away from ears, fingers spark toward the ground. Continue to breathe. And notice how your body feels. Maybe you notice your heartbeat. Inhale your arms up tall for high mountain. Exhale your hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale as you forward fold. Hinge from your hips. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, you place as much bend in your knees as you need to plant your palms on your mat. And then you'll step back for a plank. So you can drop your knees here or keep them lifted. You're creating a nice straight line from the crown of your head or the back of your head to your tailbone. Inhale, shift forward. And as you exhale, lower down slowly as you graze your elbows against your ribs. Inhale for a baby cobra. Just barely lift your heart off your mat. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, full cobra as you lift your chest, shining it forward. And then exhale as you push back into your downward facing dog. And once you get there, we'll take 3 rounds of breath. So on your exhale, if you need an open mouth exhale, I invite you to take that. And at the end of your 3rd exhale, on your next inhale, you'll bend your knees, look to the top of your mat, and exhale, you'll make your way to forward fold. And we'll do 2 more sun salutation A's. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, engage your core, belly button to spine. And this time you'll sweep up tall for a high mountain. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, you'll plant your hands, step back for your plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower down. And inhale, you can cobra or come all the way up for upward facing dog. So for upward facing dog, from your shoulders all the way to your thighs, come off your mat. And exhale to downward facing dog. 3 rounds of breath. And at the end of your 3rd breath, on your inhale, bend your knees, gaze forward. Exhale, make your way to a forward fold. And I'll invite you here to use your breath as your guide as you flow through. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep up tall for high mountain. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back for your plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, Cobra or upward facing dog. And this time we're going to exhale to a child's posture. So for child's posture, your knees are grounded and you'll press your hips back toward your heels. And here you can have your knees close together, or you can do a wide knee child's posture, which is where you spread your knees wide, you bring your big toes to touch, and then you settle your sits bones back towards your hips or towards your heels. And here your arms are stretched out long in front of you, parallel. Inhale and exhale, you'll drop your heart toward your mat. And if your forehead comes to touch your mat, that's great. If not, that's great too. But if you'd like to use a pillow or anything under your chest to bring the earth closer to you, I invite you to do so. And we'll hold here for 3 more rounds of breath. And I'll invite you through our practice today, if at any time you need rest, please take care of self, and you can find your way to this child's posture. And at the end of your 3rd breath, on your inhale, come to your tabletop posture, curl your toes under, and then exhale, lift up for downward facing dog. 3 rounds of breath. Notice your thoughts and what's coming up. And at the end of your 3rd breath, on your inhale, you're going to step your right foot forward between both palms for a low lunge. So you're on the ball of your back foot. Your knee is stacked just on top of your ankle. And on your next inhale, engage your core and lift up for a high crescent lunge. So once you get there, you want to check in with your knee, that it's on top of your ankle or a little behind. And then you can place a nice little bend in your back knee, and that'll help flatten your spine or elongate your spine. And shoulders down away from your ears. Inhale. And exhale, sink in just a little bit. Inhale. And then exhale, you'll frame your front foot for your low lunge. And then you'll step back for your plank posture. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, Cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 rounds of breath. And as things get challenging, sometimes it helps to remember that point of gratitude, the joy that we talked about early on in our practice. On your next inhale, left leg comes forward, step it between both palms. Exhale. On your next inhale, engage your core and sweep up for high crescent on the left side. So I invite you to take a moment to check in with your left knee that's on top of left ankle or slightly behind. Maybe you place a bend in your right knee and shoulders down away from ears. Inhale. Exhale, sink in just a little deeper. Inhale. And exhale, fold forward, framing your front foot, and then step back for your plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 rounds of breath. You've got this. You're doing a great job. And at the end of your 3rd round of breath, I'll invite you to come to tabletop. And once you get there, hold here for 2 rounds of breath. And at the end of your 2nd breath on your inhale, you'll step your right foot forward between both palms for a low lunge with a dropped back knee. And continue to hold here and breathe. Maybe your fingertips just touch. Maybe your palms come all the way down. If not, you can place your hand just above your knee on your upper thigh. Then you curl your back toes under. Inhale. On your exhale, you're going to walk your hands and your hips back toward that left foot. And then you'll bring the toes up of your right foot. So your right heel is grounded. This is a half split. And just notice where you feel this. Maybe your back toes are talking to you. That's okay. On your next inhale, walk forward to your low lunge with a drop knee. And you'll firmly ground your left hand into the mat, directly under your shoulder. And on your inhale, your left arm will come up for a twist. Inhale. And as you exhale, try to see if you can bring your right hand back just a little bit. Open your heart to the right side. One more round of breath here. And on your exhale, you'll ground your right hand, your low lunge, and then you'll step your right leg back for tabletop. And hold here for 3 rounds of breath. Finding rest between our yoga postures. And at the end of your 3rd breath, on your inhale, step your left foot forward between both palms for a low lunge with the right knee dropped. Continue to hold here and find the hand placement that works for you. Inhale. You'll curl your back toes under. On your exhale, you walk your hands and your hips back toward your right foot. Left leg is long, toes up, heel grounded. And see if you can accept yourself in this moment as you are. Today you have shown up to yoga. Whether you're moving, you're in child's posture, maybe you're listening, you're here, and that's important, and I'm grateful. On your next inhale, walk your hands forward, finding your way back to your low lunge, and then exhale, bring left leg back for your tabletop. Notice how your body feels since we've started and where you feel it. Maybe you've worked up a little bit of a sweat. Maybe you haven't. Paying attention to what's coming up in your body, your thoughts. Inhale. Now curl your toes under. And on your exhale, lift up for downward facing dog. Inhale. And open mouth, exhale. And another. Inhale. Exhale. One more. On your next inhale, bend your knees, look to the top. Exhale, make your way to a forward fold. And once you get there, I'm going to invite you to place as much bend in your knees as you need. And you'll take your peace fingers and wrap them around your big toes. And from here, you can use that grip to deepen your stretch. So pulling your chest toward your thighs. Maybe slightly tuck your chin toward the mat to open your airway. One more breath. On your next inhale, while keeping your fingers wrapped around your big toes, place as much bend in your knees as you need to half lift. So flatten your spine. Exhale, fold. And then release your peace fingers. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, engage your core. Sweep up tall for your high mountain. Exhale, hands to heart center. And here we're going to do a little balance. So you're going to step your feet a little wider than your mat, and I'll face you. And you'll point your toes just a little away from you, so kind of at a 45-degree angle. Then inhale your arms up for a 5-pointed star. And see if you can extend your fingers out just 10% more, creating more space across your chest, your shoulders, your shoulder blades. And pull your shoulders down away from your ears, creating extension in your neck. Inhale and exhale. And from here, we're going to try on a balance posture called the tilted star. So you'll root firmly into your right foot, bend just a little into your right knee, and then you'll use your left foot to kind of kickstand up. So your toes are grounded still here. And if you'd like to stay here, I invite you to do so. If you'd like a little more of a challenge, you can bend into your right knee a little more, hug in your left toes closer to your body, and then begin to lift your left toes off of your mat and tilt. And as you do, continue to extend your fingers out, getting that full body stretch. And we'll hold here for 2 more breaths. Remember, your breath is there to help ground you to this moment. And at the end of your second breath on your exhale, bring it all back to center. Allow your arms to fall. And take whatever movements you need. Maybe rolling your wrist, right, swaying side to side, a light swing of your arms. And then we'll meet back in your 5-pointed star. So stepping your feet out a little greater than hip width, toes pointed just away from you. Inhale, arms up. And setting yourself up for balance on this side. So you'll firmly root into your left foot, a slight bend in your left knee. Then you'll kick off where you're just on your right toes. Then you bring your toes in a little closer. And then if you'd like to lift off, slowly lift your right foot, staying bent in your left knee. Continue to notice your breath. One more breath here, you're doing great. And then inhale, and on your exhale, come back to center and allow your arms to fall. And again, take whatever movements feel natural to you. The 5-pointed star can feel a little stressful on your arms. And then we'll meet back at the top of our mats in your mountain posture. So hands out by your side, firmly rooted into all four corners of both feet. Slight bend in your knees, shoulders back away from ears, and spark your fingers out. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. I'll ask you here to remember what you're grateful for, what brings you joy as we recommit to the last part of our practice today. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, your plank posture. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, Cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhale to child's posture. So this will be our first yin posture today. So once you get there, if you'd like to find a pillow or a bolster, please do. To bring the earth closer to you. And I'm just going to watch the time. So you'll stay here for 2 minutes. So you're sinking your hips towards your heels. Your arms are stretched out long in front of you. And allow yourself to soften toward the earth or your mat. And if your brow touches, if your forehead touches your mat, maybe you roll your head side to side, giving yourself a nice brow massage. And pay attention to where you're holding tension. Maybe your shoulders or your hips. And as you exhale, I invite you to send breath to those areas. Our breath can help release any tension we're holding in our bodies. And as you continue to breathe, just notice what comes up without judgment. And when we move to our next yin posture, I will begin reading from a book about gratitude. So for now, I invite you to take in all that this posture has to offer. Child's posture is good for rest, for stretch, for grounding. And on your next inhale, I invite you to slowly and with intention make your way back to your tabletop posture. So use your hands to assist as you press up. Remove any bolsters or blocks or pillows you might have in front of you. And once you get to your tabletop, I'll invite you here to maybe sway your hips side to side or shift your weight forward and then clockwise around. Set your hips back toward your heels. On the left side, back to the front, and then make another circle, going counterclockwise. So to the left this time, make your way back to the front. And then you'll sweep your legs around to meet in a seat. And once you get there, you'll bring the soles of your feet to touch for a butterfly posture. Now, I'll invite you, if you'd like, to stay here. You can inhale tall and then exhale, hinge forward. Maybe place a block or a pillow here for support. Or if you'd like more of a stretch, I'll invite you keep your right leg about where it is, and then you'll swing your left leg out to where it's parallel with the long edge of your mat, and your front leg is parallel with the top of your mat. And from here, you can inhale tall and exhale, hinge forward. You're folding over your right leg. And this is called deer meets swan. So if you've practiced yoga before and you've ever done a half pigeon, it's kind of a version of that. And I'll invite you to use whatever props or support you need wherever you are to allow yourself to soften as much into this posture as possible for you. And I will read for 2 minutes. The yogis speak of developing an abiding calm, a centeredness that is unshakable, like a tall tree so rooted in the earth that great winds cannot topple it. This for me is the image of contentment. It means not riding the waves of the ups and downs of life. It means that we not only agree to what is in the moment, but we actually welcome it. It means that in all the noise and demands of modernity, we stay in the abiding calm center. This is the mastery of life that contentment invites us into. This practice of gratitude and non-seeking can help us stay rooted in this jewel. There is a paradox to not seeking. The more we seek or need to look at it a certain way, the more it eludes us. I find that I am continually faced with the illusions of contentment. I have an image in my mind that I will always be centered and calm, that life will always seem perfect to me. And if you have a bolster or support and you notice that the longer you hold the posture, you no longer need it, or maybe you need it on a lower level, maybe you shift it from under your chest to just bring your forehead to ground on the support, then I invite you here to take whatever minor adjustments you might need. It is, I think, this very image that keeps tripping me up and keeping me from the contentment I seek. Think about it. It is easy to be content when we feel great and things are going our way and we like ourselves. But what about when chaos and interruptions abound, or we feel bored or depressed? What then? Discontentment is the illusion that there could be something else in the moment. There isn't, and there can't be. The moment is incomplete. That means if I am bored or sad, I will only be discontented if I am not content to be bored and sad. And then wherever you are, if you are in the butterfly posture and you're hinged forward, I invite you to take whatever adjustments you need. If you are in the deer meets swan, I'll invite you to circle your left leg back to your butterfly posture and then switch sides. So your left leg will be parallel to the front of your mat. Your right leg will be parallel to the long side of your mat. Inhale tall and exhale as you hinge forward and find whatever supports you might need. Building contentment with boredom, sadness, impatience, depression, disappointment, and loss builds our ability to be the tall tree so rooted in the earth that great winds cannot topple it. Being content with our discontentment is itself a gateway to the calm depths within. The paradox of not seeking contentment allows us to appreciate what we have. Contentment is falling in love with your life. In the beloved classic, The Wizard of Oz, Dorothy embarked on a long journey to discover that she already had contentment where she was. She had fallen in love with her life. Contentment is performing duty and right action with pure joy. It is the true understanding that there is nothing more that can or does exist in this very moment. When we are purely in the moment is complete. So I'll invite you here to take any minor adjustments you might need and allow yourself to settle in for the last minute. When we do something in the moment to fulfill an expectation for another moment, for instance, exercising to get our bodies to look a certain way rather than for the pure joy of movement, we will miss contentment. When action is complete in the moment and the process is enjoyed for the pure joy of the process, action becomes being and being becomes contentment. We have learned that there is nothing missing. Life is complete the way it comes to us in each moment. When we understand this, we sink into contentment. So as you think in these last few moments of this posture about what brings you joy, what is it about that moment that brings you joy? And on your next breath in, wherever you are, please use your hands to assist you carefully and with intention as you slowly lift up out of the posture. And wherever you are, I invite you to sit and stretch your legs out in front of you. Maybe give your legs a wiggle. If you'd like to lean back on your palms, and bring your legs up where there's a slight bend, and windshield wiper or hammock right to left. So you're dropping both sets of knees one way, coming through center to the other. And this is a good counterbalance to the yoga postures you just held for, 2 to 4 minutes. And from here, I'll invite you to make your way to your back. And once you get there, take a moment, just stretch out long. And take a few deep cleansing breaths. And then you'll bend your knees. Your feet are about hip width, and you'll hug your feet in close to your sits bones. And if you have a pillow or a support, I'll invite you to grab that, because we're going to do a supported bridge posture. And if you don't have a blocker or support, you do have the option whenever I cue to place your hands or your fists at the place where I'm offering the support. So you'll firmly root into both feet, legs are engaged, your gaze is upward, your chin is tucked slightly toward the ceiling to open your airway. On your next inhale, you'll lift your hips up toward the ceiling. And then from here, you'll place a block or a support just under your hips. So not on your lower back, but just below there. And then allow your hips to settle onto your support, whether it be your hands or a pillow. And continue to breathe. And then I'll invite you to allow what doesn't need to be active to release it. So maybe you start at the crown of your head and work your way down to your brow. If it's furrowed, making attempts to unfurrow. If your jaw is clenched, allowing it to soften. If your tongue is pressed firmly to the roof of your mouth, allowing it to fall. And paying special attention to your breath. And notice where you feel this stretch. And we'll just be here for another minute and a half. And see if you can focus your attention on your body and what's coming up. Maybe it's the strength of your legs, the way the support is supporting you, where your shoulders connect with the mat. Notice your breath. And see if you can find gratitude and joy in this moment. And if you can't, that's okay. Yoga is a practice. Thoughts will come up. Things will happen. And that's okay. And if you have a support, on your inhale, you'll lift your hips before removing it, and then slowly lower down one vertebrae at a time. And once you get there, stretch your legs out. Maybe give them a wiggle. Notice how your body feels. And on your next inhale, I invite you to hug your knees in. Show yourself some love. Maybe you rock side to side, giving yourself a lower back massage. Or maybe you just gently hug yourself. Either way, whatever feels right for you. And then if you're rocking side to side, finding stillness, inhale, and exhale, stretch out long, bringing your arms overhead. One of those good morning stretches. And here we'll prepare for a banana posture. So for banana, you'll keep your hips centered and grounded on your mat. And on your inhale, or on your exhale, you will slowly work your arms to the right side of your mat. So maybe you take your right hand to left wrist and gently pull it. And then you'll walk your feet to the right side of your mat. So I'm sure you can see where this is going. So your body's curved like a banana. So your feet and your hands are to the right side of your mat. And on your exhale, I'll invite you to settle your shoulders and your hips down toward your mat. And continue to breathe. And you have we'll hold this for about another minute and a half. So you'll get your 2 minutes in. And then if you'd like a little more of a stretch, you can cross your left ankle over your right ankle. And notice how that changes this posture for you, or if there is any change. And sometimes whenever we're quiet, we start running through the things that we have done today or the things we still need to do. The past is history. The future is imagination. All we have is the present. So being present in this moment, in this posture, with your body, with your breath. And then if you have your left ankle crossed over your right, I'll invite you to uncross it. Then you'll work your legs back toward the center, followed by your arms. Inhale, exhale. On your next inhale, I invite you to carefully hug your knees in again. Show yourself some love as a counterbalance to our banana. If you'd like to rock side to side again, I invite you to do so. And then come to stillness. Inhale. Exhale, stretch out long. And bring your arms overhead. And this time, you'll take left hand to right wrist, Keep your shoulders and hips grounded. And you'll walk your arms over to the left side, followed by your legs. And once you get there, as you exhale, settle in and allow yourself to release any tension you might be holding. Maybe one side feels different than the other. And if you feel like you need more of a stretch on this side, whether you did on the other or not, I invite you to cross your right ankle over your left ankle. And notice how that feels. And then we'll hold here for another 1.5 minutes. As you continue to breathe and settle in. Maybe the noises have changed. Maybe the room temperature has changed. Maybe just your temperature has changed. I invite you just to take notice of this moment and how it feels. And if you notice you're holding any tension, as you exhale, you can send breath there. And if your right ankle is crossed over your left, I invite you to uncross it. And you'll slowly walk your legs back to the center and your arms follow. Inhale and exhale. And on your next inhale, gently and carefully hug your knees in one more time. If you'd like to rock side to side, I invite you to do so. Maybe you curl your head up so you're rolling up into a ball. Notice how that changes the whole posture. And then come to stillness when you're ready. And then on your exhale, I invite you to stretch out long. Allow your hands to fall by your side, palms facing up. Allow your feet to fall out to the side as we settle in for our final resting posture. So take a deep breath in and an open mouth sigh. And the practice of rest is just as important as the movement, giving our bodies time to recover. And once you settle in, I invite you to set a soft gaze or close your eyes, whatever you're more comfortable with. And we'll do a full body scan. So starting at your feet. Maybe you flex your toes away from you, and then flex them toward you. And as you work your way, allow your feet to fall. As you work your way up, you hug your upper thigh bone with your muscles. So maybe that feels like tensing or flexing your muscles around your upper leg and your knee. And then hugging your shin bones with your muscles, your calf muscles and muscles around the lower part of your leg. Inhale, and as you exhale, release. And then working up to your lower back. You can press your lower back into the mat or your floor. And then allow your lower back to find a more natural position. And press your shoulder blades into your mat. Continuing to breathe. And as you exhale, release. So allowing your shoulders to gently melt into the mat. On your next inhale, clench your hands into fists. Maybe you flex your upper arm and your lower arm muscles so they hug your bones in your arms. And on your next exhale, release. Allow your hands to fall open, your arms to soften. And hug your shoulders up to your ears. Press them back into your mat. Inhale, shoulders into your ears. And exhale, allow them to fall and soften. And then I invite you to pay some special attention to your jaw. Maybe you purse your lips together, clench your jaw, inhale. As you exhale, release. Allow your jaw to pull away. Allow your tongue to fall away from the roof of your mouth. On your next inhale, clench your eyes really tight. And exhale, release. And take one more deep breath in here, all the way up your body. And exhale, send breath all the way down. And I'll invite you here. You can stay lying down, or you can come to an easy seat, whatever feels right for you in this moment. Wherever you are, place one hand over your heart, one hand on your belly. Inhale as you fill up with gratitude one more time. And exhale, let it wash over you. And to close out our practice, we'll take 3 breaths together. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. One more. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a great day, night, week, wherever you are.